What exactly is a placement year? When is a placement year taken? And how do you take a placement year? Now, there is so much confusion over what a placement year actually is. Now, a placement year is a 12-month, almost like an internship, taken in your university course. It's taken typically in the third year of your university course if you're on a 4-year degree, and this is a bachelor's degree. The time of year is typically starting around June or September of when you finished your second year. And there is a lot of confusion over the differences between a work placement and an internship. Now, a work placement year is something which usually spans 12 months and is taken, like I said, in June or September. Whereas an internship, which you have multiple types, you have a spring internship, you have a summer internship, and you have an off-cycle internship. Now, a spring is taken in April for around 1 to 2 weeks, unpaid. A summer internship, typically paid, lasts between 8 to 12 weeks, which usually starts around mid-June time. And then an off-cycle intern is usually a 6-month cycle, which starts really January time. So a work placement kind of fits in the middle of that, and it spans from June to June the following year, or September to September the following year. Now, there is quite a lot of confusion over how you can actually do a placement year, and even if you would be eligible to take a placement year. And this is really quite flexible, and it honestly depends so much on your university. So with Loughborough University, a placement year, when you decide to take a placement year, is sometimes compulsory in the course. So for example, my course, which I'm studying finance, I took it initially knowing that I'll be doing a placement year, and it is compulsory as part of the course, so I have to do it. However, some universities such as Nottingham or Durham, they give you the choice as to whether to take a placement year. So when you first apply for university, you can choose to take a course with a placement year or without a placement year. Now, if after your second year or after your first year, you realize, oh wow, I really want to do a placement year. They seem really interesting. They're going to give me lots and lots of experience. You can very easily flip onto the placement year course and you can take a placement year. And in that certain circumstance, it is not compulsory. When applying to your university, make sure you look out for whether your course is compulsory or not, because the last thing you want is to apply to a university which has a compulsory placement year and you get to your second year and you think, oh damn, I don't want to do a placement year anymore, or I couldn't even find a placement year. So what do I do? And the difference with a placement year is that it counts towards your university degree. So you'll get academic credits. For example, I'm at Loughborough University and I've just finished my industrial placement year, and I get something what's called a diploma in professional studies, which I have to write a dissertation for. And at the end of my year, when I graduate, I'll get a diploma on top of my bachelor's degree. But there are many different types of placement years that you can take. So, for example, there are 3 different types of placement years available to all students. The first and most common type is a 12-month industrial placement year. Now, a 12-month industrial placement year is when you spend 12 months working in industry. So you're working as a professional job full-time for an entire year, and you even have a contract which you sign. The second one is 12 months studying abroad. And this is typically because your university, for example, Loughborough, have lots of different partner universities abroad. So for example, Loughborough have one with Kedge University, which is in Bordeaux, and that's a partner university. And you can go and study there on a course of your choice for 12 months. You obviously have all the exams. It would be just like university, and in some cases slightly harder. Your third choice is doing something what's known as a 6-6. 6 months spent either working abroad or working in industry, and then the following 6 months either working abroad or working in industry. Your choice, depending on which order you want to do it in. And that's what sets placements out from other things. It's very, very flexible. And finally, if you're in 2 minds about whether to take a placement year or not, here are the benefits, and the benefits are ginormous. It is a year out of university. It's technically a sandwich year, but the benefits you gain are incredible. So first of all, in my experience, I worked in London for 12 months as an industrial placement student working in private equity. I was working in the direct origination team. And this experience was so good for me because it allowed me to figure out whether I actually liked living in London and whether when I graduate, I want to live back in London. So it allowed me to figure out what sort of location I want to be living in once I graduate. And not only that, it allowed me to figure out which industry and job role I want to work in once I graduate too. So it really means that when I go into my final year and I'm trying to figure out what grad roles I want to be applying for, because I've worked in industry, because I've worked in London, I know exactly what sort of jobs I am interested in working for and applying for. So it really allows you to narrow down your choice. So that's the first benefit. The second benefit is I've now gone through the entire application process when I was applying for placement roles. So I know how to structure a CV. I know what to talk about in interviews. I know how to do the online assessments. I know what jobs are going to be like. So I know all of these things just by applying to the roles, which is going to give me a major advantage when I'm applying for grad roles over people who maybe didn't do a placement year or didn't do a summer internship. So it gives you that competitive edge because grad roles are very, very competitive. You've got loads of people graduating from university all wanting the same job, all wanting the same high paying job in London or outside of London, and you need that competitive edge. And finally, that moves on to my last point, having that industrial placement experience on your CV. Having, for example, having the company which I worked at, which was private equity, having that on my CV is massive. For example, if two people are applying, they have exactly the same degree, they have exactly the same experiences, but one of them has a year spent in industry, obviously the employer is going to be more interested in the person who's spent an entire year in industry, simply because they know how to talk to people, they know what the work environment is like. They know that you want this job because you spent a year in industry and you should surely know what you will be looking for. So having that additional experience on your CV really sets you out from the rest. And once again, gives you that competitive advantage, which you really need, especially in the finance industry, to try and land that ultimate grad role. So that's just a few benefits. The benefits are enormous from placement years because you've also got all the competencies you learn throughout the year, which you just wouldn't learn by doing nothing during the summer. So that was what a placement is in a nutshell. I really hope that sort of helps you understand whether you want to take a placement year, if you're thinking about it. There's going to be a whole series on how to get a placement year and all the tips and tricks. So please subscribe to this video for more videos coming in the next week. Thanks for watching.